to Dr. Hook for my new contacts. They're working great. My disease started with a cigarette at age 10. At age 11, I was diagnosed with a disorder called fibrous dysplasia, which produces bone tumors. The largest tumor was in my face, and it had to be removed, and then my face was completely reconstructed. I clearly remember that first surgery. My family was all there, my church had started a prayer chain, and everyone was so worried and afraid. When I woke up from that surgery, I will never forget the cocktail of medications given to me through my IV. The rush that came over me was instant, and I knew in that moment, as long as I had those drugs, everything would be just fine. It immediately instilled in me an unhealthy way to cope with all of it. I continued to have multiple surgeries as the years went on. At the age of 14, during a shift change, 2 nurses accidentally overdosed me on morphine. The opioid crisis had not yet hit, and no one could have ever imagined the long-term effects those heavy narcotics would have on me. As I got older, I struggled with one relapse after another. I began taking a medication called Klonopin for anxiety, and within moments, it became my master. I couldn't function without a pill. For a long time, I was a highly functioning addict. I had a career, I was married and raising 4 beautiful children. But when I was alone in my room, I would see commercials for addiction hotlines, and in my head, I knew that was me. But I was terrified to speak up and face my disease. Eventually, everything spiraled, and my life became unmanageable. Some tragic things happened. I had nowhere to live. I lost my children, and my marriage, it was in shambles. I dove headfirst into my addiction and started using every street drug that I could find. One night, I found myself alone and homeless on a beach in Florida. I was 1,000 miles away from home and family. I was completely lost. I stood right where the ocean meets the sand, and I screamed out to God, asking him to save my life. That week, I was arrested and I found myself incarcerated for 3 months. And during that time, I was able to make the conscious decision to stay sober. I was released on felony probation, and shortly after my release, I met Miss Sandy through Nicole's house. And over the next 2 years, I began to work on old warrants and other legal trouble that I had left here in Arkansas. God stayed with me every step of the way, and I was finally able to move back home and become a resident of Nicole's house. During my recovery, I have gotten my driver's license reinstated. I took the Arkansas state exam, and I became a licensed cosmetologist again. I assist in managing at Reflections Salon and Day Spa in Bentonville on CB. The day that I moved into Nicole's house, I received an email from my probation officer in Florida stating that I had received early termination of my supervision. So I am so highly blessed to say that I am no longer on felony probation. I regained full custody of my daughter. We are blessed. We are blessed with a really, really cute apartment in town that we get to call our home. We spend our days riding our e-bike, walking our dog Mars, watching movies, and spending time with my son when he comes to visit. Nicole's house truly was my safe haven. It was my place to call home while I reestablished myself in our community, and I was able to grow even closer to Jesus. I feel blessed to have been a part of it, and I have been clean and sober since August 29, 2019. Zephaniah 3:14 through 20. Sing for joy, daughter of Zion. Be glad and rejoice with all of our heart. The Lord has removed your punishment. He has turned back your enemy. The Lord your God is among you, a warrior who saves. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will bring you quietness with his love. He will delight in you with shouts of joy. At that time, I will bring you back. Yes, at that time, I will gather you. I will make you famous and praiseworthy among all of the people on earth when I restore your fortune before your eyes. Yahweh has spoken. My name is Katie, and I am living proof that we do recover.
Well done. You know, I'm hearing another theme of just law enforcement wanting to see lives change too. Are there any law enforcement officers, probation, anybody here that's within law enforcement?
Sheriff Holloway.
Yeah?
Sheriff Holloway's here.
The support from our law enforcement, thank you for being here. Incredible stuff. Now our